Hello everyone. Um, so I'm back making another video post attendance at another card show. So I've actually been to two in 2 months. So I've just been to the October 2025 Yorkshire card show, which was hosted at the Magnus Science Museum in Sheffield. So I got there for 10 o'clock this morning. I was there for just over 3 hours, I think. So I was just going to talk over what I bought today and what my overall views and experience of that particular show was. I think it's the first one I've been to in a while, which is like a completely brand new show to me, because the last two I've been to were both Northwest Card shows, so I've got a bit of a way of comparison, making a comparison now. So I'll quickly talk over what I bought first, and then I'll also go through the day. So the more boring stuff, I bought 5 mag holders, 3 35.1s, and I think, is it 3 or they're on the other side? A couple of 35s and 3 55 point mag holders. From the same seller, I bought a 21-22 Panini Chronicles soccer box. Darn Americans. So I've never opened one of these. You get a Premier League, a Serie A and a La Liga box, and each has 15 cards in. Leeds are in the Premier League box, which is why I picked one of these up. Also, you just get quite a cool mix of cards in here. So I'll be opening that on the channel at a later point. At the show, Dave and Adams were there, which people might be aware of, or DA Car World is what they otherwise trade as. I bought some boxes from them, so I bought this Prism Premier League box. Big part of the reason is it has 24 packs in and 4 cards per pack. I quite like boxes where you get plenty of cards. I just find them quite enjoyable. Feel like you get sort of better value for your money. I don't know if you can actually get any parallels or anything. It says find 5 prisms. I don't really know what prisms you can get. They were about £30 for that. And the base cards I'll use as free cards that I add to eBay orders. And so I thought that'd help. Certain teams like Liverpool, Man U, I don't have a lot of free cards to add to people's orders. I got 2 F1 Paddock Pass blaster boxes. I previously opened one on the channel, I think. I can't remember. I got one of these recently for my birthday, but I didn't upload it because the box wasn't very good. So hopefully I'll actually get something cool of Max this time, because that's my favourite driver, or just generally any cool cards. And then the very last part of the day, I got a bulk of single cards from Sports Cards Direct. All of these were 20p a card. So I got these were the World Cup 2018 parallels I got. So 1 silver and then a few of the multicolours. I'm not sure why the Jimenez is the other way around colour wise. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, these are just cool looking parallels. I got all these football cards, few tops now, some Prism bits, some Arsenal cards. I got that in the Metro actually, because he currently plays for Leeds, who I support. But yeah, just a nice bunch of cards. And then I got all these red laser or lava parallels from Panini Score. As I say, these were like 20p a card. And this is the kind of stuff I like to put on my eBay store. I don't do high-end stuff. I like doing the low stuff that helps people complete sets. I don't make much money off them, but I quite enjoy doing eBay, but I don't like doing the higher range stuff because it's just a bit more risky. So that's my comfort zone. I picked up these couple of cards. I got these from a different seller. Again, don't know if I'll actually make any money on these, but I know Liverpool and Arsenal fans will like the look of these cards. In the first hour, I struggled to find anything to buy, to be honest. It was very busy, so getting around to the different sellers was quite difficult. The final cards I got from Sports Card Direct was this F1 lot. So got the short print of James Vowles, some Paddock Pass stuff, including a black short print. Got a refractor of Toto Wolff, a couple of Camber cards. The Maxwell, hopefully, but not the one I've got already. A short print of Checo, a refractor of Max, a short print of Boschung, and then a numbered Perez, and another one of Max. He has 4 of these Camper cards, so I definitely don't have one of them. So yeah, I thought they were really good value to pick up, and that was the last thing I bought at the day. And then sort of the PC cards I bought, so it's a much smaller pile, but this mag at the end was the bulk of the money I spent. I picked up this Ice Kylian Mbappe. Don't own any cards but at the moment of him playing at Real Madrid. I just thought that was a nice one to add. I quite like the field levels from Select. I already have 2 copies of this card, but I've got I'm currently doing a binder where I want to get one of every Max Tops Now card, and I haven't got a spare one of this card to put in that binder, so that's one I needed. One of Leeds' new signings this summer, James Justin from Leicester. Don't have his autograph, so I picked that up. Just his base one from Prism, and then another one of the summer signings from Leeds was Noah Okafor from Milan. I'm not sure what year set this is from, but it was about £5. It basically worked out £5 for this card from Immaculate. So yep, another one, nice one to pick up. And then yeah, the biggest card I went for on the day, I paid essentially pretty much that for it, but I've been wanting to get a Pirlo autograph into my Legend collection. At the last show, I picked up a De Bruyne autograph card as my big purchase. I've got that on display behind me. And the reason I went for this particular one is it is a match worn used patches. It's 4 patches of different colours, and it's a auto card of Pirlo. And I was quite happy to have the Juve image, because when I first started sort of the period of Pirlo I actually got to see some of him playing was whilst he was at Juve towards the end of his career. I'm not bothered that it's out of 500 because it's just a really cool card. So that was my big purchase of the day. I sort of waited it out like I did at the last card show. I sort of browsed everything in the room, and then I went for this when I was happy that's where I wanted to spend my money. Once I'd bought that, the cash I had spare, I then went and bought some boxes. But I did have to buy some of them. I think I bought the Paddock Pass ones on. I'd run out of cash by then, so I just bought them with my card. So yeah, that was the pickups. Compared to the last year, I couldn't find as much stuff that I wanted to buy single cards wise. There was probably more people selling sports than there was at the Northwest Card Show, or probably very similar. The problem with that where the show today was is it was a show where people were just mixed. So there was it was like Pokemon Sports, which made it quite hard to navigate. I did find at the last Northwest Card Show, when everybody was grouped in one place, I never had to leave sports and I never had to go to Pokemon. And there's nothing against Pokemon, but there's a lot of people come to Pokemon, which made it like at 10:30 the show was really busy and it was quite hard to get around, especially when you're trying to get to like this the flick through stuff to find cards like this. You just can't get in. So yeah, by about 12 o'clock, after the first couple of hours, it had sort of died down. And then I did seem to find more sports stuff when there was more room. the sports selection didn't feel as good. There was definitely a much better selection of boxes, quite considerably at this show. I mean, Sports Cars Direct, pretty much every show. Who I got this stuff from, so they had box. I didn't get any from them. But there was Dave and Adams were there, P Commando. There was another people selling sports boxes. So you were sport for choice on boxes, especially from Dave and Adams. They just had blasters of everything because they'd come over from the Netherlands. There was probably not as much stuff low value football wise. A few sellers had flicky through stuff. There was quite a few sellers who were charging quite high prices comparative to the Northwest card show, which I found then that I didn't buy as many cards. I struggled to find Leeds United stuff, especially the Leeds United stuff I didn't already own. There was a seller there that was at the Northwest card show, but they had the same autos as at the last one, and it's either ones I don't want or I already have. So yeah, the venue itself is fairly easy to get to. It's just off the motorway. It certainly didn't have enough parking for the peak attendance of the show. I was fortunate enough that I'd got myself there early enough to get a spot in the main car park. When I left at about 1:30, there were just sort of cars everywhere in the surrounding area. Now, it wasn't a residential area, but the area got overrun by the size of the show. It also, the size of the hall itself the show was in, it wasn't too full, but for the first couple of hours it was definitely very busy. There was enough space to move around, but for people who had like small kids and push chairs and stuff, it got a bit crammed, especially in some of the middle aisles. Randolph from YouTube as well was there with a table, and he had a massive queue which restricted how people can move around, which is nothing against him because it's just really popular. But I think from an organisation point of view, they could possibly had a queuing system set up for him, which then left the walkways clear, because that queue was there the whole 3 hours I was there. Those Soccer Cards United, who people might have seen on Instagram and YouTube, they were meant to be at the show. They weren't, which was disappointing because I was hoping to meet them and say hello and stuff because I listened to their podcast. So that was, from a personal point of view, that was a bit of a shame, but that's nothing against the show. Everyone else I'd seen that were meant to be on there online were there. Including MGC, actually, the grading company. I dropped a card off because I recently bought a signed Pablo Hernandez card that I'm hoping to get authenticated because I'm not sure if it's authentic or not. So I've dropped that off. That was the only thing I said. I don't do grading, but I've sent that off for all authentication purposes. So I think they had. So as a show for sports, it was okay. Like I said, I was there 3 hours. There were some decent sellers. You have to be willing to dig through the lower end stuff where they've got them in like the cardboard trays and find stuff you're after. And I think sort of as a reflection, I think I'm finding that if you're trying to buy lower end cards, like cheap cards, it's possibly worth arriving a couple of hours after the start time when the crowd has died down and you've got more space to go through them. And I think the sellers are probably more likely to sort of do deals with you because they don't want to take everything home. So yeah, I'd say it was still a decent show. I certainly enjoyed myself getting to see all the cards, and it's mad seeing all the boxes there. I think I enjoyed the Northwest card show more, the last one I went to in Liverpool. But I still enjoyed it. So it's probably going to be the last show I go to this year. So we'll see which ones I get a chance to go to next year. But that was basically my views and feelings and what I picked up from the show. So thank you anyone for watching.